Hi there, I'm Luma and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm recording this video for you today. It's February 12th, 2025. And wow, just take a big deep breath here. And just enjoy this view behind me here today. Isn't it spectacular? Every day is spectacular here. Every day is spectacular. I live here on Vancouver Island. This is the Salish Sea out here behind me. Really take a moment to decompress and take in this big, spacious blue sky, this gorgeous blue ocean here today, this little pop of pink. Yeah, we need these moments of calm, of serenity, to catch our breath because we're going through tremendous changes so very rapidly. It's extraordinary. Yeah. So take another decompressing breath here with me. Yeah. I want to start out by saying thank you so much for your incredible, heartfelt, really authentic and honest comments. Yeah. Gosh, I love reading all of the comments. I read every single one of them. I see that a lot of people respond to each other's comments. It's just wonderful. Please take your time to read through the comments. And if you're able to post one, just know that it will be well received here. We're all going through shifts and it really helps to know that you're not alone here. Yeah. So again, thank you so very much for your time, for watching, your comments, liking, subscribing, all that great stuff. I just love to make these videos for you. And I just really full of so much gratitude here today. Alrighty. So in this video, I want to talk about paying attention to the signs of change. Yeah. Paying attention to the signs of change, because we're not alone. Even though we think we are, we have to do it all by ourselves, and we've been living under the optical illusion of separation and isolation for a long time. And we've learned to not trust each other. We've learned not to trust very much in life. Yeah. And boy, we sure need to trust. We sure need to trust to help us navigate right now. So when we're going through changes, there's all kinds of unseen forces that can scout things ahead, that know what's coming, that can give you a heads up, give you the signs and the signals that time to prepare, time to make some changes, get yourself ready, don't stress out, don't be afraid. There's so much fear and anxiety about the future right now. So really important here, just be really present. Just be really present here with this gorgeous scenery. That really helps a lot sometimes, just to give you some clear mental space. Yeah. So signs and signals of change. I've been living here on this coast in this little old beach cottage for over 5 years now. And every spring around this time, the ocean changes. The ocean changes. It changes in quality and it becomes softer. Why? It's preparing for a big event here that happens every spring, which is a herring spawning season. These little tiny silverfish, millions and billions of them come and they spawn here in these shallow waters. And before they arrive, you can feel that shift starting to come. Okay, so I notice the quality of the water becomes somehow softer, because it's going to be like a giant womb that's going to hold billions of herring eggs, and there's going to be this huge cycle of life that happens here, where all these fish that swim way out in the deep ocean come back into the shallow waters again. I also live here right at the mouth of an incredible estuary. So there's all kinds of different salmon that swim up the rivers here from this area. It's a very vibrant and rich aquatic area here. So there's so many signals and changes of what's coming ahead. So already the last couple of days, the sea lions have started to arrive here. You know, they come in and they've swum a long way. They follow their food sources, right? And they float out here on their backs with their fins up in the air. It's the most funny sight. Just looks wonderful just to float there in the water. Boy, oh boy, yeah. All right. A lot more seagulls start to arrive. Shorebirds start to arrive. More eagles start to appear along the shoreline. Fish boats start to come out in the waters here, yeah? So reading the signs and signals. Not all change is bad, right? These are changes of like, oh, here's the cycle of life renewing itself. So I'm sharing this story with you here of nature to remember the cycles of change, of renewal, of when life is renewing itself, okay? So there is a die-off process and there is a renewal process, yeah? We can be very present to the dying off, the disintegrating, the falling away, the falling apart, right? And if we're always looking at that, you know, as our way forward, we're going to be very fearful, very anxious. We might fall into despair, right? Okay, so remembering again these larger cycles of life. Yeah, there's death, there's dying, there's dissolving, there's renewal, there's seeding. Like it's big dynamic energies we're in now, right? Big dynamic energies. Okay. Alrighty. So signs of change. When is it time to start changing? You know, we get little hints, little nudges when it's time to perhaps leave a relationship, yeah, leave a marriage, move house, leave a job, yeah, leave a situation that's the trade-off is just too much of a price to pay for you anymore. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And how, noticing how, you know, attached that you may be to your identity of where you live, what your relationship status is, you know, as a parent, right? As a spouse, in your job, yeah, in your position, in your community, yeah. You can be very identified with a particular location. Goodness me, I've been very identified and attached to living here in this beach cottage, you know, having this reflecting to me here every day. It's really hard to imagine living anywhere else, but I need to imagine that there is another place, that there's always something different. There's always something new. And it's not necessarily bad, right? It's life going through the change, yeah? So, you know, people often book in one-on-one sessions with me because they feel really stuck or stagnant or fearful to make a change they know that they need to make, you know, or letting go of something that they really don't want to let go of, right? Yeah, it's part of our human existence here. Yeah, holding on to and attachments give us temporary comfort, temporary sanctuary and shelter and safety. Life is bloody hard, you know, it really is. So, you know, when we find something that feels good or a little pocket of comfort somewhere, man, we hang on to that for dear life, you know. We could hang on to it until we're like white knuckled and we don't want to even let go of it. And it might be, you know, we're hanging on to it so tight we squeeze the life out of it and there's nothing left that we're hanging on to there anymore until we let go and realize that, you know, life's like tapping us on the shoulder or banging us on the head or tripping our feet up, you know, to knock us down, to get us to notice, whoa, you can let go of that now. Because guess what? There's something new here, okay? There's something new here. So I'm going to switch over and talk a little bit about energetics right now, okay? And let me call it a pathway or a passage that is open in between dimensions, in between universes, in between realities. I understand this to be a series of like portals or gate systems that are interfacing and opening up. So we've got all a greater flow of frequencies, of energies, yeah, to help us through this huge transition we're going through, right? So for me, here's something you can visualize along with me as I'm describing this, okay? So in my back, in between my shoulder blades, I call there's a spot there. It's like your wing spot, yeah? It's your wing spot. Just imagine you've got gorgeous angel wings, butterfly wings coming out from your back around you. Etherically, we've got these energetic flows, our wing flows that help us to flow big energies, that help us to flow what gets like trapped emotional energy, big emotional waves. We can circulate that through. If we try to hold it into, we think of our own little physical human heart as this tiny little thing. It can't really hold all of that, but man, we got energy fields upon energy fields upon energy fields here, right? So decompress, open up, let all those big feelings have a place to circulate. Taking this big spacious sky here, you can always give it up to the sky, give it up to the trees, give it up to the waters, right? Give me some help here. I got some big movements moving through me. Help me to expand and be with this, right? Okay. So again, coming back to that wing spot in your back, and just imagine there's this like a passageway of light that's coming in from right behind you, and it opens right up inside of you, yeah? And that's coming right from the dimensions of your soul and beyond. Yeah. And when I'm breathing like through that. It's like a tube. It's kind of like an umbilical cord to my soul, right? And I'm breathing that through. It's kind of like my new life support system here as I'm breathing through the changes. It's going to help me let go of things that I was attached to, things that I used to rely on, things that I depended on to survive, right? Well, guess what? There's this new energy coming in. So just keep feeling that that's there right behind you. And it's opening up inside you so you can breathe through it. Just like you got like an oxygen hookup. You got like some higher frequency air coming in. And you can breathe in internally through that. I help your system adjust. Yeah. Let's say you've had low oxygen levels. Goodness me, I know I have. And we need some big fresh supply of oxygen to come through to help lift your system up. A little more buoyancy, a little more ease here. Yeah, as you're breathing in and as you're exhaling, you can lay down some of the heaviness, the burdens, the effort, the hardship of life that's been carried and carried and carried for generations and generations and generations through history. Yeah. So we're setting a lot of that down with respect, yeah, for the strength and endurance that was required to keep freaking going when things were really, really hard, okay? So we're setting some of that down here because, life's trying to renew itself. It's trying to tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, please set that heavy stuff down. Set some of that density down. You don't have to carry it around with you. Yo, but I'm so strong. I can carry all these weights of the world upon me, and that makes me a good person. Well, that's changing too. Yeah, how we identify ourselves, our personalities, what makes us strong, what makes us weak. Gosh, all this is changing. Okay, so we're setting down burdens and effort, breathing in through that inner passageway, buoyancy, ease, support. Yeah. Whew. There you go. Okay. So, I'll share a little bit of my own story about paying attention to the signs and signals of change. I was getting a little nudge that it's time to move out of this little cottage here, but it's pretty hard to leave this. Right? So these little nudges kept coming over the past year. One thing after another, went, nope, I'm not leaving. I'm hunkering down. I'm never leaving. I'm not going, right? And guess what? The nudges turned into pushing, some bang knocks on the head, tripping me up, things showing up in my face. Yeah, it's an old cottage. It's disintegrating. There's a lot of issues in terms of health and safety here. Goodness me, I've been so attached to this view. Who wouldn't be, really? Yeah, yeah. But let's say I got a few very loud messages that it's time to move. So I'm in the process of preparing to move. So soon you'll see a different backdrop behind me. So enjoy this view. I'm sure I will always land in beautiful places. I always do. But I had to pay attention to those nudges, yeah, because they were getting louder and louder and louder until I finally had to surrender and go, okay, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to prepare. All right. Got a helicopter flying by. I literally feel like I'm being airlifted out of here. Going, no, 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 I don't want to leave. Like, no, Luma, it's time to go. There's other things, other experiences to have, different places to be, right? It's kind of like, oh yeah, there it is, that low flying helicopter. I live right near a military base here, yeah. You just can see the beautiful part here. There's all kinds of other stuff that goes on here in Comox. So yeah, there we go. So when you get the sign, it's time to move. It's time to let go. Heed the call, yeah? And the other part of it is what? You know, saying our farewells. It's not easy to say goodbye. It's not easy to let go. It really, really isn't, yeah? But to be respectful in your leave taking and those preparations, yeah? Starting to loosen your grip. And as you loosen, it lets more space so you can expand into the next experience that your soul is wanting to have here. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where do those nudges and signals come from? Yeah? Your soul, your spirit guides, spirit helpers, dearly departed beloveds, big guardian energies, and you know, they'll use all kinds of creative means to get the message through to you. Yeah, it might just be, you know, something pops up on your video feed, you hear a song in a restaurant or a cafe, and it, you know, opens up a memory that you hadn't thought of for a long time. Yeah. You could walk into something and bash your head. A friend of mine was just telling me that happened to her neighbor, to her husband this morning. Yeah. Time to move on out of a job that's really not good, right? Yeah, and you're going to be okay. Just keep following the signs, keep following the breadcrumbs, yeah? And, you know, pay your respects to that which is leaving, that which is departing. If you're parting ways with friends, yeah? Parting ways with family members. You're just going in different directions, making different choices. Bless everybody on their journey. Yeah. Yeah. And again, come back to like the kind, gentle, tender care for yourself as you're going through all of these changes. Yeah. We're really stepping into a fuller expression of what I would call our spiritual mastery here. Yeah. We are remembering how to demanifest worlds. Yeah. How to manifest new realities. Being present to the disintegration of old structures. I'm very present to, like, this old cottage is disintegrating. Yeah, it's you know, it is. It's time to move on, right? When things are disintegrating literally all around you. Okay. Being present to that, yeah, and moving on, moving forward. Yeah, we will be shown every step of the way. Yeah. What makes it really hard is when we're still attached to keeping things the same, and that creates a lot of resistance on our field, you know, when we're trying to move and we've got, you know, it's like you're moving through molasses. You got to dissolve some of that sticky goo down, you know, let go of those attachments and oof, that fresh inspiration can come, you know? Even if those changes are primarily internal, maybe you're one of those people that's like, you're supposed to stay put where you are in your home, in your relationship, in your job. Yeah. And those changes are happening internal, in an internal alchemical way. Yeah. And as you're doing those internal changes, you're sending out light codes and messages to the environment where you live, to the people who you work with, right? You're sending that out. Yep. So bless you if you're staying in those places and you're that stabilizing presence right now. Yeah. Well, you're doing those deep inner changes, you know. Some of us are going through inner changes and outer changes simultaneously. Just depends how you're wired. Depends on your soul frequencies that you're working with. For me, I get inner changes and outer changes. They're kind of one and the same thing, and they're sudden and rapid and kind of shocking. But I'm used to it now, kind of am. So that's why I'm sitting here talking about change, and you're going to get through it. There's so many times where I thought I was at the end of my rope and I had to let go, and I landed somewhere. Always did. Always did. Always will. Yeah. So I'll pause there for today. I'll just sit back here and let you enjoy this gorgeous, gorgeous day here. Take a couple of more deep decompressing and expanding breaths here. I just want to share another little end note here. My previous video, which I spoke about melting, in a sea of unconditional love. Well, let me tell you, the very next day after I made that video, I was lucky to go off to a spa day with two friends, beautiful Aquarian women on their birthdays. And we were soaking in a hot tub, and one of the lovely spa attendants came along with a tray of little white towels all rolled up. And she said, would you like a cool towel to put on your neck or your forehead while you're in the hot tub? We said, oh, well, thank you. How delightful. So we take these little towels, unroll them. Guess what? There's ice cubes. Ice cubes inside the towels. And we drop them in the hot tub and watch the ice cubes melt in the whirlpool. The day after I make the video talking about these metaphors, and boom, guess what? There it is for real in my waking life. You know, that's how magical things are, the things that are showing up right now. Gosh, goodness gracious me. How can I not believe I am completely 100% supported every step of the way here? I don't know. I'm still asking for proof every day. Anyhow, thank you for watching all the way to the end here. Links are below for connecting with me one-on-one on other platforms. And I'll be back hopefully with another video or two with the lovely Salish C as my co-host here on my YouTube channel. Please put your comments below, and I'll see you again really soon. Thank you.